Hey everybody, Chad Taylor here, back in action. Got all this working correctly now. We're live, and I wasn't able to get a video to you the last couple days. I had a computer issue, got it all squared away, wound up not being that big of a deal, just had to find out what the issue was. And so we're live. So now we're going to go over the foundations of heaven. What is that? It's one of those subjects, like most of these, that if you've read the Bible your whole life, you got to have these things be kind of analogies or allegories or metaphors. But let's find out, what does the Bible actually say about that? Now, in the book, Where Are We, Earth According to the Bible, I don't get into every single example of the foundations of heaven, just a handful of them. And so we're going to go over those right now. So if we go to page 206 from the Bible, or from my book, not from the Bible, from page 206 of my book, we're going to get into this. So down here, a few of the descriptions here. The foundations of heaven are on the earth. And we can see pages 59 and 96. The foundations of heaven are also called pillars. And lastly, the foundations of heaven can shake and tremble, also on 26 and 96. So on these 3 pages, 59, 96, and 26, we can get into those. So let's go to page 59. All right, now we're looking at Amos 9:6 on page 59. And so right here, say the ESV, who builds his upper chambers in the heavens and founds his vault upon the earth. Same thing with NRSV. Basically, word for word looks about the same. NIV, he builds his lofty palace in the heavens and sets its foundation on the earth. And I think it's key to see that whatever this vault, dome, that God's lofty palace is founded on the earth. And now, I know there's a lot of people that get bent out of shape when you read anything other than the King James, but this is one of those verses from King James where it kind of leaves you scratching your head as to what it means. And you got to do a little bit more digging to find out what it's really saying. That's where it's kind of handy to be able to look at other verses or versions. I know some people get bent out of shape about this, and I used to be one of them. But so King James, it is he that buildeth his stories in the heavens, and hath founded his troop in the earth. Well, and he hath founded his troop in the earth. So if you read over this in the King James, you don't do any more digging, it leaves you scratching your head. So just want to FYI, don't get bent out of shape when, I don't think God carved King James Version into the Ten Commandments. So anyway, I just get all this time about King James. I used to be one of them, so I can't give him any grief. So anyway, so that's from Amos 9:6. So let's scroll down here and see what that looks like. So God's vault founded upon the earth, God's palace in the heavens. Earth's foundations cannot be explored. Let's see that. Oh, these here are from the previous page on 58. These other little descriptions here. But we're concentrating on 59. God's vault founded upon the earth. On day 2, which is from page 4 of the book in Genesis, where it talks about the firmament is also called heaven, called a vault, called a dome. So it's founded on the earth. On the earth is key here to understand. 2 Samuel, this is from page 96. So right here, then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of heaven moved and shook because he was wroth. From the NIV, the earth trembled and quaked. The foundations of the heavens shook. They trembled because he was angry. ESV, then the earth reeled and rocked. The foundations of the heaven trembled and quaked because he was angry. So then later it talks about he bowed the heavens and came down. He bowed the heavens and came down. So it's talking about the foundations of heaven shook and quaked, and earth quaked, and all these, just huge shaking going on. And God's up here in the heavens, back up here in his, you can see his lofty palace is up here, right? Everything's shaking. He's up here super angry. The firmament shakes, aka the heavens, the dome, the vault, and then which causes the pillars of heaven, the foundations of heaven to shake. Earth shakes, just a lot of shaking going on. This has happened in the past, and it's going to happen again in the future, even more severe in the future. Talks about, and the Bible talks about, you know, the earth quaking like never before. I forget the exact terminology, but it's every island and mountain was shaken from its place. It's going to get way worse in the future regarding earthquakes at some point in time. Just FYI. And so there's that. And from page 26, this is Job 26, 7 through 11. We're focusing here on verse 11. So page 26. Job 26:11. The pillars of heaven tremble and are astonished at his reproof. The pillars of heaven tremble and are astounded at his rebuke. The pillars of heaven tremble and are astounded at his rebuke. And the NIV is the pillars of heaven quake aghast at his rebuke. So this one calls it pillars, and like I said here, let's see, the foundations of heaven are also called pillars. So think of, as far as the interchangeability regarding pillars and foundations, well, if you know the building process of a house or a building, on a foundation, you can have columns, you can have concrete columns called for in certain places, which are part of the foundation, and pillars, and there's just different names for different parts of a foundation. And also with the foundations of the earth, it's also called pillars of the earth as well in different versions and different verses, and they're almost interchangeable with pillars and foundations, just because they're both part of a foundation. So just FYI. And there we have it. That's Foundations of Heaven. And if this has been helpful, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit the notification bell so you're notified of when new videos come out. I'm putting them out every day. I need to make up for the couple days. I need to make up for 2 videos because I had those computer issues, and look forward to bringing you a video soon. So thanks so much. Chad Taylor here, signing out.